part of video we're gonna learn about constructor in Java. And moreover, if you don't know anything about constructor, don't think it's like this: a man doing construction work at the working side. It's not that, and it's not funny too. So let's get on to the main meaning of constructor in Java. What constructor means, what is constructor, we're gonna learn this video. Let's get started. So, constructor in Java is a special type of method that is used to initialize the object. I know you got nothing of the words I just spoke, so I just told you in a little bit easier layman manner. It says that constructor is a kind of a method that starts with the class name and initializes the value. Got something, 10% or 2%, that don't worry, I'll tell you everything about with an example. Let's get just finish the theory part. So there are two type of constructors. Default constructor is a constructor that is automatically invoked by the compiler JVM machine itself, and a parameterized constructor, that is a constructor fired by us, giving us parameter when we give it parameters and initializes the value of parameters to the data members of a class. Let's get started. Parameters, default constructor, parameterized constructor. So let's just know default constructor. Let's just get an example for that. Okay, we got a class bike. I told you the constructor starts with the name of class. We got a name of class with a function brackets. Bike with function brackets is a constructor which has a function of displaying bike is created. In the main method, when we make an object of bike class, bike b, new bike constructor. And if you remember in the previous video, when I told you about how to make an object in Java, I always says that the last is constructor fire. The last keyword bike with the parameterized brackets is a constructor firing element, and here it works. It just fire up this function over here that is created by compiler. If you don't write it, if you even don't write it, compiler will automatically make an object, and that's why we always write this. We don't write this, we always write this, and the output will be bike is created. If you didn't get it correctly, don't worry, because in the next videos we're gonna use it rigorously, and you'll get 100% of the constructors. And for now, just let's get ahead and have a look again that what I told, so it will get better for you. We have a constructor like this. The syntax of constructor is this: class name with brackets, and something you're gonna do in this default constructor with no parameters, and automatically when we create an object, it fire ups. The second thing, when we get a parameterized constructor, and here we have parameterized constructor. Yeah, it is. The parameterized constructor, I already told you, is that it initializes the value of parameters to the data members. And how it is worked, let's see with an example only. We have a class student. Int id is the data member, string name is a data member of class, that is private, that is public actually. So we got a function void display which displays id and name, and in the main section we came and sorry, it was not that. If it was that, let's just correct my mistake because we got confusion. Student examples of both. Let's just start it with this example. We got class student, int id, string name same, and now we got a constructor student with the name of class, and we got different thing, that is parameters int I and string n. One is integer type, one is string type. And I told you what does initialization mean. Initialization mean that you got to convert, or you got to say forward these parameters to the data members. And what we are doing, data members id and name got the value I and n, that was parameterized in student constructor, and that is the main task of a constructor: initialization. Got it? I hope you got it. And in the display part we got a function which displays IDs and name, and the main section we got student created its two object student and just passes the parameters 111 current 222 ardent and just display it, and you got an output like this. And what happens here when you write it, and when you just make an object s1 in the constructor part, you just write the parameters. These parameters all exactly all over, when you just write it, it automatically transferred to the class data members ID and name. And when you just display it in the display function ID and name, it just displays 111 222 RN current. Okay, but if you just got an idea of what is a constructor, it's two types: default constructor and a parameterized constructor. Let's get to the last thing that is very confusing also. What is the difference between a constructor and a method? I know that you got a confusion that both syntax of constructor and a method resembles, because we have a parameterized brackets, and both constructor and method are doing something. So let's just know what is actually it is. Constructor, it is initialize the state of an object. I already told you it just initializes. But method, you can do anything with a method. You can perform sum, you can perform subtractions. Constructor doesn't have a return type. You may notice that when we write the constructor, we don't write void here. No, we don't write it, but in function we write it. Notice, for display is a function, we write a data type void. So it's clear. And the main difference is that if you don't write, for some cases, for default constructor, I already told you, JVM automatically imposes a default constructor to fire, but a method is not invoked by any kind of JVM, because method is a function that we have to give to the JVM, and so it performs it. So that's the basic difference between a